Hello everyone, it's Mal Farmer 6710. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to a video I haven't done in quite some time, and I feel like it's welcome to an updated version. So I'm going to be showing you guys a tour of the model farm, and as you can see behind me, this is where it all happens. So it's going to be a quite long video, and it's full of the works of how I do all the models, how I make things, and what's my setup like, the workshop, where I store everything, and how I make it all happen. So you guys might be able to take a few ideas from this for your own setup, and without further ado, let's get into it. So this is the room, guys. This is where it all happens. As you can see, it is a lot different of a perspective to what you'd see on the Sunday videos or the Model Farm Diorama series, where it's more in close like this. So it's kind of a lot different of a perspective to see it standing back from it. So I'm not really going to go through, guys, the diorama. You see that every week. There is a tour, a full detailed tour of the model farm when it was fully built. But okay, you all know the storyline and everything, so we'll leave that. But what we're going to be focusing on is the actual tour of the room itself. So including like where I store my model tractors, my workshop especially, which has changed in the last few weeks, which is more of what I wanted to show you. But also, not just that, but a lot of things have changed since I last done one of these videos. So there's a lot to show. This side here has got a lot more fuller with the likes of the boxes, which means a lot more models have been added to the collection. Like diorama, storage, and there's a lot of stuff under here, and parts wise, and there's loads of models under there as well. But yeah, I suppose we'll start over at the workshop. So as you can see, it's a bit of a farm loft. Moving up the stairs here. It is a bit of a wet day here today, and welcome by the Michelin Man. And in you go. So as you walk in the door here, now it's not a very tall door, by no means. I'm 6'3" and I have to get in and out of it, I don't know how many times a week. But yeah, look, I just get used to it. You wouldn't want to have a bad back anyway, that's for sure. But no, it would be handy if the door was like up to here like a normal door. But look, what can you do? That's just the way it is. So just make do what you have. We actually have a good few things here which I actually just nice to have, you know. Nice to the character and model show, good memories, and you know, like good friends, Perfect 32, Gold Plough farm models, and first class models, Mid Ulster agri models, Rob Neesham and CI models. Just a few business cards I've got throughout the model shows and stuff, and they're just sitting in my wallet, and I said, you know what, they look better on the side of the shelf here. I can look at them every time I come in. And then there's another model show which I was meant to go to, but it ended up being too far at the time, so we said we'd leave it, but still said I'd stick it up. And then there's a few things like, you know, tractor runs I've been to, and Perfect 32, a few Mikhail posters just to decorate the room, and you know, a few machinery shows I would have went to, picked up a few posters, and some of them in the back of the farm and plant, which is really bringing back a few years now, farm and plant. And a few other things I collect throughout the years, you know, David Brown advertisements and stuff. So kind of cool. I like it now. It's better than just having a plain well. But yeah, moving into the actual workshop, it's a nice space now. It is usually a lot more messier than this, but a lot of the projects I've been working on in the last few days, I've actually finished them up, so I'm currently ready to work on a few new projects. So whatever models are on the bench are kind of currently what's left to be done, or what's to be worked on. So for starters here, we have TM140 out of my own collection, and look, that has to be fixed up and stuff, just to rail the the handles and the lights and stuff. That's more so about it. And then we have 2 John Deere balers. There's nothing wrong with this baler here. I just said I put it in here. I was considering of converting it into a single axle Massey baler, which I was actually going to do with this one here. So I might leave this one, but I'm going to turn this one into a single axle Massey baler. As you can see, you have these holes drilled here, which I hope to you know, make the guard rails for the real ones. Here is a single axle Kel-Tec bale chaser. So I have the chassis all done, but I have a lot more work to do now. That is going to be a very hard project now. I don't know if I'll get one, if I'll get it complete or not, but it's going to be very hard. I do drive one in real life, so I thought it'd be cool, and I can take pictures of the real one and try replicate it to the model. But I did try years ago now make a 10 bale Wilson, and it didn't really go too well. But no, I'm going to try a single axle Kel-Tec this time. Kel-Tec and the Wilson are they're similar, but they're not the same. But yeah, this is what I kind of wanted to show you. The this kind of chest here, I was in, I think it was a month ago or so, I got it at the start of the year, and you know, it's fierce handy, like, you know, you're able to put your wheels and your linkages, bonnets and stuff, like, you know, it's actually fierce handy. Like, before that I did have this wall here for storage compartments. I had it all stored in just these 2 boxes, and it was getting about time where they were getting too full and it was getting too messy and stuff. So I have it all labelled, like linkages and weights. So if linkages, lots of weights in there. Actually have a bonnet in here, that's not meant to be there. That should be in there. But yeah, you know yourself, a few bits and pieces, especially since I'm doing the model work for customers. It's actually very handy to have all the storage compartments, as you're able to have stock stored, and you know, you're not waiting on stuff to come in from Holland. A lot of time we are, but it's nice to have stuff on the shelf. And then bonnets, I have lots of various bonnets, a lot of them which I probably won't really, I couldn't see myself using now. So if you are after a few bonnets, please message me. I have like some Massey bonnet and Sammy bonnets. There's a McCormick bonnet there, you know, a few little bits and pieces. There's I think a 6920S bonnet. I think that will come in handy for 6920S conversion. And then these 2 I'm keeping, Massey 699 and 6910 bonnet. Have them a year and still haven't started at all. And then this one here, a lot of real random stuff, really. Kind of stuff that I don't really know where to go, so I just throw them in here. And hopefully one day these will all come in useful, which they will, definitely. Like, there's Michelin Man there, there's, you know, splash plates, A-frames, exhausts, you know, little pieces. And if anything like falls off a model or it breaks off, I put it in there, so it's not going to get lost, and I know it's definitely in there. So that's not a bad idea. There's kind of more or less the same. I have my super glue, that's about it. Beacons here, as you can see, and then the likes of the, you know, hose pipes and a PTO there and stuff like that. Here I have a kind of customized stuff, you know, like I have a front linkage, which is to be going on this 6930. Have, you know, like a front weight, sumo front weight, and a roof for a TM, like a realistic roof like that. Other variables, so I have a CI Models saw head which goes onto a digger. That's kind of cool. Then I have likes of this here, which will be going onto a lorry eventually, hopefully, once I find the right lorry. Have a Super Q cab, which will definitely come in handy in the long run. Then I have an unfinished model there, which I bought at Character Model Show, and that's a Marshall 802 or 804, one or another, and that's to be finished off too. So very handy now, and I have, like, you know, my little tools. Anyone who's getting into model making, I really recommend this. The likes of having Parkside are actually brilliant for all this little stuff. You know, it's cheap, and you don't need over the top equipment for this now. Like, Parkside does the trick. It does the work of any other stuff. Like, it's, at the end of the day, it's little models you're working on, not heavy machinery. So, you know, anything like this will do. But there's nothing wrong with the Parkside. I have a lot of Parkside stuff here. Like, that there is Parkside. like all the trays and all Parkside. Even these little attachments, these are Parkside too, and the little Phillips heads and the small flat heads and stuff like that, really handy for the small screws on the models. You're able to open them up real handy. And a very good screwdriver too, savage. So I'm very happy with like what Parkside do. And these knives, this will be very handy for you know like cutting the plastistruck and stuff. Behind any model orders goes into that book there, so I don't forget about them. So there's a few there I have to look through now, as I have a good few orders finished. In there is my drill bits, which are here, as you can see. Ooh. But yeah, they're the drill bits there, and then have, you know, brushes and pens and glue sticks and everything. So a few more brushes there. And then here on the side of the wall here, just have I got this in Parkside as well. At the same time I got that, and I'm able to hold my, you know, my scissors and my pliers and everything. It's fierce handy. But what I was experiencing was they were all lying on the bench here, and then, you know, everything's getting messed across the workbench. And whereas here I can, if I finish using with it, put it up there, literally takes a second and reorganizes the workbench a whole lot. So I'm really happy with that. And this is probably one of the best yokes I've ever bought. A Dremel. Comes fierce handy. As you can see, I have a little die grinder bit onto it, and it helps me do all the sunroofs and stuff. Now you're able to put sanding heads onto it, and little discs and stuff. So fierce good little tool. Now it's just off a battery and she charges up. I'll actually turn her on for you. And then you have your little different speeds. Oh wait. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So savage little bit of a tool that is. And there I have the little accessories for it. They can go onto the drill or anything. There's my drill, little Black & Decker drill. Nothing massively, you know, but like it does for the model work, you know. Like if I was to go working on tractors and stuff, it probably wouldn't be the best yoke, but it's just your average DIY drill. Then here for the likes of the model farm videos, you know, the different people and stuff, they all stored there. So if I'm ever bringing a new character or someone working in the field or in the farmyard, I can just pick one out of here, and just obviously it has to relate to the storyline, but yeah. And then here, probably one of my first tools that I put on the workbench, and it was very handy, and it's still handy to this day. This little vise here, it is brilliant. This handy little vise, actually you couldn't have any much of a better vise, because she rotates 360 degrees. She's on a little ball joint here, just clamps to the table, you know, just a little clamp, and it's perfect size. I'm very happy with that now. And then over here I have another magnet, which is for my tweezers. Again, Parkside as well, just fierce handy. And that there, you know, fierce handy for putting little stuff. You're not there with your hands and getting super glue all over your hands, and generally it's a nightmare. Then above here, you know, have my light, very important, as without the light, it'd be fierce dark. So you have to have full concentration on what you're doing. You know, I have tape and stuff, reflector markings. There's an unfinished project I have to do as well, the fuel bowser. Obviously a speaker there. Speaker is nice to have, play your music. You know, little bits and pieces there. This is a nice little shelf. Have like, you know, the rust stuff I put on the sheds. I have like all other little accessories there, which will always come in handy, stickers and stuff. So that's about it for the workbench. Now moving on under, this is where I keep all my implements, like all the tools and stuff. Now I could go, this could be nearly a separate video altogether of going on about the tools, but no, you can kind of pause the video if you want for yourself, see all the tools. Like a good lot of tools now, and it is kind of hard to make space for them all. But I have a lot of balers and things like that. So trailers and mowers and everything. So anything that's not on the model farm on the display, I just put down here. So yeah, that's where they all go. And then I have more stuff, you know, like little paints, little heater during the winter. We're coming out of cold weather now, so hopefully you won't be needing that in the near future. And then this here, very useful to have, is the little fine soil which I have sieved and dried out, and you're able to weather the models with it, you know, roll the tires into it, and gives it, like, to say for instance it's in the field or it's after coming from the field, it gives that bit of a realistic look. Then I've other bits and pieces there, you know yourself, stuff that you don't want to throw away but you know you're going to use it in the future. So I have, like, you know, I have an orange 7430 chassis there, the snow cab with it. Daniel took the cab off it. And I have other bits and plastic stroke and tires as well, and you know, so sweeping brush there, very handy. Have to have a sweeping brush. And then along the side here to finish off, I have all the spray paints now. This is only a fraction of what I have loads downstairs in the bottom shed, but yeah, any bits and pieces which I just need a little you know, I just spray it onto the model real quick. Obviously not too much that it's gonna kill my lungs, but here's some more models, like the construction models. Remember when I had the Quarry display, Doosan's and Volvos and everything there, these will be coming back into action when the Finbar's Quarry opens up. Then there's a bit of a hanging basket there, so for making the hedges and stuff. Bit of corrugated. Then there's another view of all the models there. Sorry now the lighting isn't the best, but you can kind of make out what they are. And then here are all the boxes, as you can see. Now I do like having the boxes showing on their end, so you can see, like, a lot of the models now, or the model companies, have like the real model in display, like, and showing it what it is, like an advertisement. I really like that now. So I have like the 2010s or the 2005 class Jaguars. That's just really cool. Then we have the old class Dominator and the 610, the new 6R and the F4s and stuff, and the Weeks trailer. I think I really like that, really cool. And it gives a bit of a vibe to the shed, you know. So I really like that. Sometimes I change it around sometimes, you know, but I really like the class stuff there in the 7610 box. That's a dealer box, only after getting that recently as well. So I have and then down here I have like the diorama accessories. Again, I could spend ages talking about this, but really general stuff, like have a back seat and some trees and, you know, static grass and things like that. Little weeds and stuff for future dioramas in the future. And then same again over there, have like the brushwood chaff and things like that. And like, you know, bits you'd use on the displays. So that is handy to have, and you definitely don't want to be throwing that away. And here's an actual spare seat, a spare back seat which I have, and it's actually handy when you're taking photos. And let's say for instance you're taking a photo here, and sure, like, you know, there's a bit of a void there, so if you want to put a back scene, you know, they'll take that out and it'll make the diorama look real if you want to get a shot like around that road. So that's the story behind that. Just trying to think. Yeah, and then I'm working on a stop motion here at the moment, which I work on, you know, do a half an hour here, half an hour there, and works out grand. So at the moment here, this should be out next week, hopefully, at the time of recording this video. This video is out on a Thursday, so next Thursday you might have a stop motion out, so hopefully I'll have it done in time. There's a lot of work involved in them, but I really want to get into the rhythm of doing the stop motions again. You guys love them, and they're just, you know, there's a bit of variety in the channel and stuff. But yeah, we have the case loading up the Valtra for a bit of sugar beet. Moving on, bits of various stuff there. as you may remember, a few years ago during lockdown, I think it was, yeah, we done a diorama for Britain's Toys, and they asked us to do a budget diorama on like how to make, you know, the likes of walls and things like that, and I think we done a pretty good job. Still have it here. Didn't really want to throw it away, to be honest. I did take out the walls, as I was in need for a few walls for a model show. I think it was Moria last year. I took them off, but the most of it is still there, like the ESB poles and the fencing and stuff. And I think it did display Britain's Farm Toys very well, and if you're ever looking for a diorama, you can make it out of very simple materials. So moving underneath here, this is a very good job now. I'm able to store stuff underneath the diorama. Small bit of a shelf, which Daniel actually made, Daniel's father made, and they're a brilliant job. Very, very well built. Have like this corrugated sheet in here for future sheds that I'm building, or for customers or whatever. Bits of like silos and stuff. And then we have styrofoam, which are very good for doing legs of hills. So I always have that lying around there. Doesn't cost anything to leave it there, so there's no point in binning it. Have plenty of it there. So like, you know, like the likes of a hill there, you can shape it, and especially over there, that mountain or the hill. And then moving over here, we have like stuff, as I say again, like more stuff that you don't want to throw out, but you definitely don't want to, you know, you might use it in the future, like likes of these models here. Like I think I was going to put an MTX cab on this and have like an MTX 100, so that's what that was going to be. I don't know what that's doing there. That's nothing wrong with that tractor. Likes of this one here, it actually got into a bit of an accident, so may trash this one, but no, I think I got it for a tenner. So even the likes of the foot pedals and stuff, I actually stole the cab off it and a few lights. So like even likes of that, it saves you buying off like the websites in Holland and things like that. Have you know, the class, you know, even that beacon there and the lights and the roof lights and stuff come in handy. Be able to take them off, and loads of stuff there that I might end up using, I might not, but look, I like having it there. If I'm ever really stuck, I can go route on that. I actually have a T-cab, Scania Bullnose cab, or T-cab conversion kit there. These are two models that came during the week. Got them for good enough money there, so you know, I can use them for the tires. I think, yeah, these tires here will fit onto a 7810, so, and then the dites there, that'll look good on any tractor, them tires would. So that Sammy actually is quite nice, but I'll keep it for the moment anyway. And look, if I come across a 7810, might put the tires on it, I might not, I'll see. Have like paints and stuff here, so more again diorama accessories like the paint and the sieve for the dirt and the chopsticks. You know, you make fence posts out of them. Little stuff there, like you can find really anywhere, and you can use them for diorama accessories. It's all about using the head, saving a bit of money, not buying the main land or brand stuff. Like have this here. This actually lasts me a while. And just some dirt and stuff here. I actually don't like using this at all because it looks too artificial nearly. But each to their own. A lot of the railway lads like using that. Bits and paint and stuff, and cork mat. And then under here again, I have lots of boxes, which, you know, if ever posting stuff to a customer, I always like to have boxes here. And any box that let's say I buy a model and it comes in, I keep the box because I know I'll need it in the future there for posting to a customer. So they're all stored there nicely. I like to keep everything as neat as possible if I can try. But yeah, then we have more stuff here. Like this is more to do with like the model farm. If I'm ever setting up the diorama, you know, like the likes of fences and stuff, and there's cows there, there's bales, you know, all the bales, square bales, straw, hay, wrapped, everything. And there's like, this is what I kind of try to use as a manure, so I kind of mix a bit of muck or a bit of dirt in with sawdust. It works okay. And then this is where, have a bit of soil to say, some lads doing a bit of dump trailer work. And like I say, they're moving a bit of topsoil or something to fill the dump trailer. Now under here, you know, various stuff like the Model Farmer posters and bits and stickers and sellotape and stuff, various miscellaneous. And then here we have, just say, like you have James and Michael's T7 here, for instance. Just say, you know, as I said during the storyline there, he's gone off working on a building site for a few weeks. Same with Adrian's digger and James and Michael's Hitachi. You know, I can put them there, and I know I can remember that they'll be going back onto the scene, so that's why I kind of put them there. And it's kind of a bit of an overflow shelf for the tractors that are on here, so this always gets full all the time, so whatever doesn't fit I kind of put here as well, which is kind of what this table is used for, sadly. So we have the County and the McCormick and stuff like that. And then of course we have the big massive shelf, which is fierce handy. I don't know how many tractors are on it, but I kind of have it all in order. I try to anyway. Sometimes I'm in a rush and I don't bother, but I do try to have all my Fords and New Hollands all together. We have two Masseys. Some would say roses in between the thorns, but yeah, we have all the Fords. I do get asked a lot to do model collection tours, but I know where to lay them out, unless I lay them out on the floor, and I don't want to do that. You could risk of stepping on something, but you know, we've more or less every brand there really, and that's not to include like the likes of all the tractors on the display already. So that really includes all the model shed tour. I do try to keep everything as clean as possible, as you can't have everything messy, you just can't. No, I did give it a bit of a hoover just there now, but this is usually a lot of the time what it looks like. Now during the week you might have, you know, models placed here and there, but come Saturday when I come to record the Model Farm video, everything does be tidy. So and a lot of you guys ask how long does it take to set up the Model Farm video, so it kind of depends on the time of year. Like, you know, like sometimes it'd be silage time, so you'd have to lay down like the swarts of grass in the silage field, so that might take a bit of time, or like fill up the silage trailers with a bit of silage, or fill the silage pits. So that's what kind of differentiates the time. Sometimes it might take like 20 minutes during the springtime, where there's only like generic jobs going on. Sometimes it could take an hour, so it depends how quick you're thinking at it. I'm doing it long enough. I do kind of know like the storyline and everything. So you kind of need to be thinking like, oh, this is Adrian's tractor. Last episode I said the tractor's broken down, so should it be broken down this episode or something like that. So that's kind of how it works. I know it's a big insight into the Model Farm videos, but hopefully you enjoy. And also let me know, is it what you thought this room was? Did you think it was bigger? Did you think it was a lot smaller? I know when people actually come up into the room in person, they say, wow, it's a lot bigger than it was on camera. So I don't really know unless someone tells me. I'm always up here. So yeah, I think that's about it. I'm not sure what to change. If you have an idea in the comments below, you should do this or that, or this might be handier for you, please comment below. It'd be a help to me. And yeah, that's about it. I have shelves here as well, which I kind of store models now. It's kind of hard to get up onto, so you have to stretch across the display to get at them, but I just like have my combines there, which I know I only need a few times of the year for episodes and combining. But that's about it for today's video. A bit of a special video, and I kind of always wanted to do a video like this. Kind of wanted to get everything organised for you, so it would be easier to explain, and not everything's all over the place. So this is where everything happens in the studio, as I like to call it. And maybe, who knows, in a few years' time, we could be in a different place, or it could be in the same place, or a lot could have changed. Hopefully, in the next year, I'd like to change the model farm. I think this model farm, it's actually becoming 2 years. It's actually around this time 2 years ago since I finished this display. So it's coming up a long time now, and I'd like to, get moving again on making a new scene. Put my new skills to test. What new ideas have I got, and push my limits. Maybe I can make a more realistic farm. I have learned a lot from making this, like what to improve on for next time, but I really am still happy with how this farm turned out, and it is more or less looking the same as it was 2 years ago, so I'm quite happy with how well I kept it, as things tend to break, but look, it's I'm happy the way it is. But if you did enjoy, please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you again in the next video. Bye for now.